أعزائي طلبة وطالبات الصف الأول والثانوي، أهلا وسهلا بكم قناة مدرستنا 3 تحت إشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. إحنا النهاردة بنكمل سلسلة منهج اللغة الإنجليزية للصف الأول الثانوي، ودي الحلقة الثالثة بتاعتنا، وأتمنى إن أنتم تكونوا تابعتونا في الحلقتين اللي فاتوا عشان تقدروا to be on the track معانا حسب السيلبس المنهج بتاعنا للترم ده. النهارده ان شاء الله باذن الله هنعمل ديسكشن للنيو نوفل بتاعتنا الستوري بتاعتنا which is The Old Man and the Sea. The Old Man and the Sea. Can you see the picture here? شايفين الصورة اللي عندي هنا؟ طبعا we can see from the picture that this is the old man and I think that he is having his fight with the sea and he is trying to catch a fish. Can you see from the picture? Yes. So today إن شاء الله هناخد النهاردة chapter 1 and 2. هناخد النهاردة chapter 1 and 2. So let's see. First, we have to know who wrote this novel. مين كتب القصة دي؟ Who is the author? طب حد عارف؟ حد يعرف مين كتب القصة دي؟ Excellent, very good. I know that all of you are great readers. Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway. This is the writer of our story. And we have to know who is Ernest Hemingway. Let's see together. Who is he? He was an American novelist and journalist, and he was famous for his simple, powerful style of writing. You can find that all his writings are very simple. He loved adventure, travel, and he loved also the sea, and this is the main theme of this story. He fought in wars, hunted in Africa, and lived in Cuba for many years, and we can find that this is so affected and influenced in all his writings, as we can see in this story, The Old Man and the Sea. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1954. The Old Man and the Sea, this is our story for this year, is considered his masterpiece. So we are teaching to you his masterpiece. You are learning his masterpiece. Yes. What are the main characters? Before starting the story, you have to know what are the main characters that you are going to deal with during all the entire story. Let's see together. The first one here is Santiago. Who is Santiago? Santiago is the main character of this novel, who is an old Cuban fisherman. He is a fisherman. And زي ما انتم شايفين, it was obvious from the picture من الصورة اللي شفناها that he is a fisherman. But he was poor, unlucky, full of dignity. Although he was very poor and unlucky, but he was full of dignity, courage, and wisdom. He is a symbol of persistence and struggle of a man against nature. Let's see, who else? Manolin. This is the second main character in our story. Who is Manolin? Manolin was a young boy who loved Santiago so much, and he considered him his grandfather. But all his wish is to be with Santiago everywhere. But his parents forced him to leave Santiago and go to another boat. But he stayed loyal and supportive. He is a very good symbol of friendship. It teaches us how to be a good friend and how friendship could be very important in our lives. Who else? The marlin. What is the marlin? The marlin is a character? No. The marlin is a fish. Yes, it's a fish. It's a giant fish, not any ordinary kind of fish that Santiago caught. It represents nature beauty, at the same time, challenge. The sharks. The sharks who attacked Santiago giant fish, they represent loss and destruction. As you can see, there are few of the main characters in our story, so you have to focus on all of them and see how they are important in the events of our story. Themes. We have to know the main themes of the story. Why is this story is written? What would Ernest Hemingway like to deliver or to convey to us? If we read this story, what is the message that we have to get from reading such a story? Let's see. The first theme that ممكن نلاقي سؤال في الامتحان بيسألني what are the main themes of the story؟ فعشان كده احنا لازم نعرف كويس قوي ايه هي themes، ايه هي main ideas of this story. The first one is dignity and pride. Dignity and pride, how and where? How could be found in such a story? Even in being defeated and losing everything, Santiago sustains his honor and pride raising his head in dignity. And we can find this in the following events in the upcoming episodes. Man and nature, another important theme in the story that you have to keep in your mind. The novel explored the lasting relationship between humans and nature and how this relationship is so important. This relationship shaped in both respect and conflict. Youth and age. This is represented in Santiago and Madeline. Santiago represents age and Madeline represents youth, showing how experience and knowledge could be passed from one generation to another. Let's go on. Dreams and symbols. We can find there are too many symbols in the story that you have to know about it before. And you have to know the meaning of each symbol if you would like to start understanding the story clearly and in a vivid way. Like Santiago's dream. Santiago dreamed with lines and playing on the beach. And the lines represent youth, hope, and strength. And it also telling us that a message that being is not an obstacle. Being old, if you are old, it's not an obstacle at all, but a sign of being alive. Yep. Persistence and determination. It just shows us a clear message that you have to be determined and you have to be persistent, not never give up. Santiago is not only fights the fish, but also fight his own weakness, showing that victory lies between the lines of refusing surrender. هتشوفوا ازاي سانتياغو كان هو مثال للبسالة وعدم الرجوع، وقد ايه ان هو فضل واقف رافع راسه بكل فخر ومهنية عشان بس ان هو بيحارب لنفسه، بيحارب لحلمه، وعمره ابدا ما انتصر للهزيمة. ف persistence and determination is something important in our lives. Without hope, we cannot go on in our lives. من غير الأمل ما نقدرش إن إحنا نعيش. The setting. كلنا عارفين يعني إيه setting. Setting يعني what does it mean؟ معناها البليس، المكان اللي كان فيه الإيفنتس بتاعت الستوري and the timing والوقت. يا ترى كان إمتى؟ The story takes place in a small village. كل الإيفنتس هنلاقيها موجودة في two places بس، في مكانين بس. المكان الأولاني هو a small village. This is the village where Santiago lives اللي عايش فيها. والمكان التاني the Gulf Stream. This is the sea البحر where he goes far to catch his fish عشان يقدر إن هو يصطاد السمك بتاعه. طب when did it happen؟ السيتنجز إمتى كان حصل الكلام ده؟ In 1952. Very important، لازم مهم قوي نعرف السيتنجز بتاع الستوري لأن it could be a question، ممكن نلاقي question في critical thinking questions. What was the setting of the story؟ إيه هو السيتنج بتاع الستوري؟ إيه هو البليس والتايمينج بتاع الستوري؟ وبما إن أنا ما كنتش عارفة فبالتالي مش عارفة أحل الإجابة دي أو السؤال ده، فبالتالي we have to put in our minds إن في only two places حصل فيهم أحداث القصة، the village القرية and the Gulf Stream والstream where he goes to catch his big catch. Okay. So let's start our story. How could it be? Santiago was an old fisherman, as you know that, we said this before, and he spent all his life fishing in the sea. كل حياته هو كان بيعمل ايه؟ He was fishing in the sea. كان بيطلع البحر كل يوم وكان بيذهب ليصطاد لأن هي دي this is his ايه؟ This is his job. He was a fisherman and he was old. He wasn't a young fisherman، ما كانش صغير في السن. He was old. طب ليه بنركز ان هو he was old؟ لأن ده هيفرق معانا بعد كده في أحداث الايه؟ القصة. The writer حاول ان هو يعمل لنا description كده هوت للشخصيه بتاعه سانتياغو in order to try to عشان تقدروا ان انتوا to imagine it، تتخيلوها كده مع الرأي مع الرايتر. انت كقارئ وانت كده بتقرا الستوري حاول ان انت تعمل imaginative story كده او imaginative side، حاجه كده تخيليه قدامك للكاركتر بتاعه سانتياغو. سانتياغو skin was dark. هنلاقي ان هي skin بتاعته الجلد بتاعه او كان لونه dark، لونه غامق. And his hands were rough. وhands وإيديه كان rough. طبعا this is why because why he was a fisherman. هو كان صياد وكان معظم الوقت كان under the sun، كان تحت الشمس، فبالتالي his skin became dark and his hands were very rough. Why? Because he worked many years under the sun تحت الشمس and he was using the fishing lines كان بيستخدم السنارة so his hands became rough and it full of scars وكان فيها scars كتيرة كده علامات نتيجة العمل الشاق the hard work that he was doing اللي كان بيعمله وده شيء طبيعي جدا للوظيفة دي كفيشرمان. للأسف unfortunately سانتياغو for 84 days كان لمدة 84 يوم he went to the sea every day كل يوم he went to the sea but he was unable to catch a fish. فسانتياغو كده في مشكلة عنده إن he was unlucky ما كانش محظوظ كان كل يوم يطلع يصطاد but he couldn't catch a fish for 84 days لمدة 84 يوم. The young fishermen in the village طبعا هو كان old fisherman but the other young fishermen in the village what did they do? They started to mock at him they started to laugh at him ابتدوا يضحكوا عليه ابتدوا يتريقوا عليه طب ليه يتريقوا عليه and they even called him unlucky وسموه unlucky they called him the word sallow. What did this mean the word sallow? Sallow means that the worst kind of unlucky. Why? Because he went for sea for 84 days and he couldn't catch a fish. كل يوم لمدة 84 يوم كان بيطلع للبحر but he couldn't catch a fish. This was like unlucky. So this is the worst kind of being unlucky. Santiago didn't feel weak. طبعا رغم من كده Santiago was full of pride, full of dignity. He never looked at them. عمره ما بص لهم. He never looked at or never listened to their words. عمره ما سمع لكلامهم. So he didn't feel weak. عمره ما حس إن هو weak ضعيف. Or defeated. وعمره ما حس إن هو مهزوم defeated. But he walked with pride among them and dignity, carrying his fishing tools. كل يوم walked with pride and dignity. And he was raising his head like this with his fishing tools ومعاه الفishing tools بتاعته كل يوم among them while أو despite they were mocking at him رغم إن هم كانوا كل يوم بيتريقوا عليه وده كان كفيل كفاية إن هو to stay at home يقعد في البيت and give up ويستسلم and never goes to the sea again وما يروحش تاني للبحر but this not Santiago this is not his character he was a character of dignity power and courage. We can find here دلوقتي هنلاقي ظهور لتاني شخصية عندي وهي كانت مانولين. Do you remember مانولين؟ فاكرين مانولين؟ قلنا مانولين كان a young boy. His name of course was Manolin, okay? And he was his only true friend. هو الوحيد اللي كان his true friend in the village في القرية. And he loved Santiago so much and he considered him as his grandfather. ودايما كان بيقول إن سانتياغو ده as his grandfather. زي مين؟ زي grandfather. Although Manolin's parents asked him to leave Santiago, Manolin's parents found that Santiago couldn't catch a fish for 84 days. فعشان كده هم asked Manolin to leave him. قالوا له لا سيبه خلاص. He is unlucky. هو مش محظوظ. Let's go and find another lucky boat. تعال نروح نشوف lucky boat. But Manolin represent a true friendship. A true friendship. He didn't leave him. ما سابهوش. And he except although he joined another boat هو فعلا راح ل another boat but he went to him every evening كل يوم every evening he went to him to help him عشان كان بيعمل ايه كان بيساعده. What did the boy do؟ كان بيعمل معاه ايه؟ The boy carried the nets كان بياخد the nets the harpoon عارفين طبعا ايه هي الهاربون؟ هاربون اللي هي الهاربون اللي هي المحراب او هي اللي كانت بيضربوا بيها السمك بيبقى ليها كده سن كده رفيع and folded the sail اللي هو الشراع وكان دايما بيجيب السيل وبيطبقوا لمين لسانتياغو every evening. Santiago told the boy that the fishing is not only luck. هو هنا كان سانتياغو بيحب دايما to teach the boy يعلم الولد البرنسبلز اساسيات الفishing الصيد ودايما بيقول له it's fishing is not only luck ما كانش الفishing مجرد ان هو luck but also can skill, patience and courage. So you have to be skillful, you have to be patient and you have to be courageous if you would like to be good at fishing. ودي كانت من السكيلز المهمة اللي كان سانتياغو taught Manolin to do while doing the fishing وهو كان بيصطاد. Santiago, as we said before, was very poor old fisherman. He lived in a hut, very small hut with only a bed and a chair and a table. Do you see how poor was he? Yes, he was very, very poor. And he loved baseball very much. And his hero was Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio was his hero in baseball. Why? Why him? Why Joe? Why? Because he showed courage even when he was in pain. So Joe was like a symbol of courage in the life of Santiago. He never gave up, even when he was in pain. He never gave up. Such as Santiago. Santiago was in a deep pain, but he never gave up. And every day he woke up in order to go far in the sea to try to catch a fish. Santiago decided to go far into the sea to catch a big fish on the 85th day. After unlucky 84 days, Santiago decided to go far in the sea, further than any other fisherman can go. Why did he do such a decision? Because he wanted to catch a big fish. And he has to go far if he would like to catch something that others didn't catch before. So in his 85th, and I am focusing on the number 85th. ليه احنا بنركز على رقم 85 because it has a symbol. It has a symbol of what? Let's see. It has a symbol of lucky. This is his lucky day. 85 or 85 number is his lucky day. And this day was his 85th day. So he considered that this could be his what? His lucky day. At that night, he dreamed with a dream. What was the dream? The dream was like he saw lines, and they were playing on the beach, and he believed that his luck would change the next day. After he woke up in the early morning, بعد ما صحي من النوم, and he just remembered his dream, وافتكر الدريم بتاعه, هو كده قال إن this is my lucky day. Today is my lucky day. And the dream with a symbol of persistence, with a symbol of luck, with a symbol of being happy, the symbol of hope, youth. So there are too many symbols. بترمز إلى رموز كثيرة جدا إيه الحلم ده. The lines mean like hope, courage, strength, power. So all these symbols in only one dream. هنلاقي ان في القصه بتاعتنا too many symbols. We have to what? To try to figure out the meaning of these symbols. نقدر ان احنا نعرف ايه هي المعنى الاساسي بتاع ايه السيمبلز دي، لان احنا الاسئله بتاعتنا بتبقى فيها منها جزء critical thinking، تفكير نقدي، فبالتالي لازم نفهم كل جزئيه في القصه عشان نقدر ان احنا نوصل للكوريكت انسر للكويستشنز بتاعت الكريتيكال ثينكينج كويستشنز اللي احنا هنبقى exposed ليها في الابكامينج سلايدز اللي جايه. Let's see. Santiago woke up early before sunshine, enjoying the dark sky full of stars. That means that he was a very active man. He didn't wait until sunrise. No, he woke up early before sunshine, and he just would like to enjoy the dark sky, and the dark sky was full of stars. ودي كانت sign تقول لنا إن هو woke up early before the sunshine. And Manolin, he found that Manolin was waiting for him. Manolin جاله. And why he was waiting for him? Because he brought him food. جاب له أكل. And the food, what was it? كان إيه? Beans, rice, coffee. And it was like a gift to the old man. He knew that he was a very old man, poor one. So he just wanted to give him a gift. عايز يديله gift. And he knew وعرف كمان إن هو طالع his lucky day اليوم حظه to go to catch a big fish. So he needed إيه? He needed strength. كان عايز قوة شوية. وفعلا Santiago thanked him, شكره. And he was very grateful and thankful for him. Why he was so grateful and thankful? Because he explained to him that he need strength for that hard day ahead. محتاج طبعا strength قوة لليوم الشاق اللي هو he is going to have or to face for the rest of the day لباقي ايه اليوم. ايه اللي حصل كمان؟ تعالوا نبص كده. Together زي ما احنا عارفين ان مانولين all what he does كل اللي بيعمله he was helping him كان بيساعده. So they carried the fishing lines أخدوا الفishing lines بتاعتهم the harpoon the gaff all the tools كل دي أدوات بيستخدمها سانتياغو in fishing and the batched sail واخد السيل بتاعه. وباتشد يعني ايه؟ باتشد يعني it had holes، كان فيه holes كده السيل. and it was putting cover، كان بيحط a piece of cloth، قطعة كده من القماش to cover the holes، عشان يغطي بيها الايه؟ الهولز. فالسيل كله كان عبارة عن ايه؟ عن pieces of cloth on it as patched، كأنها كده ايه؟ زي ايه؟ حاجة مرقعة كده اهو. فهنعرف دلوقتي ايه السيمبل بتاعها، ايه الرمز بتاعها بتاع الباتشد سيل ده. that looked like the flag of defeat، كأنه بالظبط flag of defeat، زي علم كده الهزيمة، علم الهزيمة. على الرغم انه هو despite that he has lost a lot، هو فقد كتير and he has too many losses but he didn't give up، ما استسلمش وفضل رافع الفلاج، ورفع الفلاج بتاعه على الرغم ان هو كان باتشد وما كانش فيه اي حتة سليمة، ولكنه هو never give up، لكن ابتدى ان هو to do it and mend it، يصلحهم. and it was like looks like what the flag of what the flag of defeat، ده علم كده الايه؟ الهزيمة. but he wasn't in he didn't give up he never gave up. they walked to the harbor together after they brought all the fishing lines. What did they do? They walked to the harbor. And we can find that at the harbor there are a lot of fishermen out there. في fishermen كتيرة. But the fishermen were separated into two teams. بقوا هم منفصلين كده فريقين. Some of them greeted him. ناس منهم greeted him، حيته with respect، بكل احترام. Why? Why did they greet him with respect؟ ليه حيوه كده بكل احترام؟ Why? Because he was old, weak man. But he didn't, we said before, give up. He was like persistent, and he had all of feelings of persistence and determination. So they respected him on what? On his determination and persistence. But others were bitted. They felt bitty. What does this mean, the word bitty? يعني bitty. Bitty يعني they looked like a feeling of being sad and passionate. So that means that they feel، شافوا كده ان هو يعني حاسين بن هم ايه؟ متضايقين عشانه، حاسين كده بالزعل عشانه. Why؟ ليه؟ why they felt battered. Why they pity him? They pity him because they think that he was very old man and he didn't catch a fish for 84 days. So it could be his lucky day? No, they didn't think so. ما كانوش شايفين كده. كانوا شايفين this is another day of failure. ده يوم تاني ليه failure، الخسارة. فبالتالي they felt pity for him. They felt what? They felt pity for him. Did Santiago care about them? No, he didn't care about them. He didn't care about their opinions. And he walked proudly towards his small wooden skiff. Skiff, that means that he's a small boat. So he didn't care about what they are saying. He didn't care about their whispering. He didn't care about their words or their pity or the respect, even the respect or the pity. So he just walked towards his small wooden skiff. And the boat was very old but still strong as Santiago. Santiago was old but still strong. And the Madeline helped him to load all the gear into the boat, and he just loaded all the fishing tools in where? In the boat. Let's see. Did Madeline leave him or go with him? Let's see here. When dawn arrived, Santiago pushed the boat into the sea, and Madeline asked to go with him, but Santiago refused and told him that there is another lucky boat that's waiting for you, Madeline, and you have to obey your parents and go where you like. So he refused to take Madeline with him, and he told him that this is only his war. This is his war، دي الحرب بتاعته، and he has to do it alone. ولازم إن هو to fight alone، يبقى يكون لوحده because he would like to fight his own weakness and to fight his own bad luck alone. Okay, so when dawn arrived, Santiago pushed the boat into the sea and rowing. Do you know what does this mean, the word row? Yes, row يعني الدف. Rowing alone, he was alone. Remember that he is old fisherman with steady, strong arms, but he's still strong. He's still strong. And he listened to the sounds of the sea. All what he was listening, the sounds of the sea over there. And he remembered when he was young in Africa, and how he felt that he was at home on the water. So he felt that the water as his home. حس كده إن المية كأنها بيته, not the land, مش الأرض. And this is where he belongs. ده المكان اللي هو بينتمي إليه. And far from the shore, بعيد كده عن الشط بقى إيه. We said before that إيه كان الديسيجن, القرار اللي هو قرره. He decided to go far, يبعد بعيد جدا. Further than any other fisherman go, لأبعد مكان ممكن يوصل له الفيشرمان في الفيلج دي أو في الستريم ده, الجولف ستريم ده. Why? To prove to himself, عشان يثبت لنفسه that he can catch a big fish, يقدر يمسك حاجة كبيرة. None of other fishermen can do. أي ما حدش يقدر من الفيشرمان التانيين هو to do the same job, نفس الوظيفة. And he waited patiently. What did he do? He just baited his lines, جاب اللاينز بتاعته السنارة, and he put the bait, وحط الطعم بتاعها with fresh sardines. Fresh sardines, this is a kind of fish, نوع من الفيش. They use it, بيستخدموه when they would like to go fishing, لما يروحوا الفishing as a bait, كطعم. And he just threw the lines, راح رمى الفishing line where? In the sea, في البحر, okay? And he waited patiently, وفضل واقف مستني كده. Waited what? عمل ايه؟ Patiently. بكل بقى ايه صبر كده وهدوء, quietly, calmly, for the big catch. هو كان عنده goal, هدف, and he wanted to reach it, وكان عايز يوصل له. He would like to achieve it, عايز يوصل له. So he need to be patient, لازم يكون patient, صبور, calm and quiet if he would like, لو كان عايز to reach and achieve his main goal. All of these are messages, كل دي messages احنا بنستخدمها عشان ايه نقدر توصل لنا. ده the writer عايز يقول لنا too many messages, من رسائل كتيرة خلال اللاينز اللي احنا بنحكيها, فلازم to be wake up, لازم نفوق واحنا بنسمع الستوري بتاعتنا عشان نقدر to catch, نمسك المسجز he would like to deliver أو convey to us, يسلمها لنا. The sun started to boil, ابتدت الشمس تعمل ايه؟ تغلي. That's why his skin was dark, because he always worked under the sea. على طول كان بيشتغل تحت الايه؟ under the sun, تحت الشمس. فبالتالي the sun started to boil, but Santiago, did he move? اتحرك يمين شمال؟ No, he stayed steady. فضل قاعد في مكانه. He was calm, هادي, quiet. He was patient and hoping, praying. What was he hoping for? كان بيصلي لإيه أو كان بيتمنى لإيه؟ He was hoping for finding the big catch. كان عايز البيج كاتش بتاعته. طب what did he find? What did he see? شاف إيه؟ He saw a bird. شاف bird بقى. What was the bird doing? He was circling above the water. كان circling above the water. What does this mean? What was a sign of it? What was a sign of it? It was a sign of promising fish nearby. That means that there was what? A promising fish nearby, and this was the first ray of light, or the first ray of hope, أول hope that Santiago find in his considered lucky day. He's considered what? Lucky day. Okay, وبكده نكون احنا خلصنا السامري او الريفيو بتاع chapter 1 and 2, واخدنا فيها too many events, احداث كتيره جدا جدا, ب too many symbols, رموز كتيرة جدا جدا. Let's test ourselves. يلا بينا نبتدي ان احنا test ourselves, نشوف نفسنا. What did we get from the summary of the story اللي احنا قدرنا نتوصله من خلال من خلال القصة اللي احنا حكيناها. So let's move to the questions. Question number 1. Yes, let's look at the question number 1. Yes. Who helped Santiago? Who helped Santiago? Who could tell me? Yes, who was his only true friend? Who was the symbol of friendship in our story? Excellent, well done. You can remember clearly. برافو عليكم, ممتازين, انتوا فاكرين كل حاجة. Manolin, yes, Manolin, the young boy who was his own true friend, and he was the symbol of friendship, helped him. Number 2, where did Manolin and Santiago sit to eat their meal? Where did they sit to eat their meal? We said before, احنا قلنا that Manolin brought him food, beans, rice, and coffee. Where did they sit to eat their meal? Yes, they sat outside Santiago's hut. They sat outside Santiago's hut. Excellent, very good. Number 3, why did the villager think Santiago was unlucky? فاكرين لما احنا قلنا ان اليونج فيشرمن دايما كانوا called Santiago Salo. Salo was the worst kind of being unlucky. طب why they considered him being unlucky? Unlucky. Why? Yes, bravo عليكم. Excellent. Well done. Because he hasn't caught a fish for how long? 84 days. Very good. 84 days. Let's see another question. How did Manuel show loyalty to Santiago? دلوقتي الكويستشنز ابتدت تبقى شويه تريكي، ابتدى شويه بقى فيها نوع من انواع الثينكينج، الكريتيكال ثينكينج. فبالتالي احنا لما بنيجي بنذاكر القصه مش بنذاكر مجرد ايفنتس احداث، لا احنا بنذاكر كمان السيمبلز، الرموز والمسجز بتوين لاينز، والرسائل اللي بين السطور اللي احنا بنقراها. واي؟ عشان نقدر ان احنا بعد كده نحل الكريتيكال ثينكينج كويستشنز زي ما احنا هنشوفها دلوقتي قدامنا. How did Manuel show loyalty to Santiago؟ ايه اللي خلانا او ايه البروف اللي يقدر نقدمه عشان نقول ان مانولين كان لويال لسانتياغو؟ Let's see. Yes, he helped him carrying nets although his parents forced him to leave his boat. His parents didn't want him to be with unlucky Santiago. They wanted him to go to another lucky boat, but he was a true friend and he just a symbol of being loyal, and he a symbol of loyalty. What did he do? He every evening went to Santiago to help him, and he never left him. Number 5. Why does Santiago admire Joe? Why? Do you remember Joe? Who was Joe? Yes, the baseball player. Why especially Joe? Why especially Joe he admired him? Let's see. Because he played with courage even in pain. He was a symbol of being courageous, a symbol of courage, a symbol of not giving up. He was in pain, but he continued playing even he was in a painful state. And this is the same as Santiago. Santiago was in pain, but he continued going fishing and he never gave up. Let's take another question. What is the importance of the number 85? فاكرين لما احنا قلنا ناخد بالنا من النمبر 85 رقم 85 in this chapter في الشابتر ده. Why this number is so important? Why we can consider it like this? Let's see. Why? Because Santiago believed that the 85th day would be his lucky day, and 85 was his lucky number, and this day was his 85th day, so he considered that this could be also his lucky day to do what? To catch a big fish, and this was his goal. Another question. What was the sky like when Santiago woke up? Yes, Santiago woke up early in the morning before sunrise. Yes, before sunrise, but how did the sky look like? Yes, it was dark and full of stars, and this is give us a sign of the place was so dark and it wasn't sun shining, and that means that he was so active. Despite he was an old man. Number 2. How did the boy help prepare the boat for the journey? What did the boy do? Let's see. Can you remember? Yep. He carried the lines, gaff, harpoon, patchy tail, and he loaded all that gear carefully into the boat. Number 3. Can you remember this question? How do Santiago's memories of lines symbolize his spirit? فاكرين لما احنا قلنا ان في critical thinking questions بتتطلب مننا ان احنا نفكر كويس قوي في كل الايفنتس والمسجز between lines عشان نقدر ان احنا نحل kind of these questions. لو احنا مش فاهمين السيمبلز الموجوده في الستوري استحاله هنعرف نحل الكويستشنز دي. فبالتالي لازم to focus and concentrate in such questions and to try to find the correct answers for these. Like this one we have here on the screen. How do Santiago's memories of lines symbolize his spirit? What does this mean? What does this mean to the character of the spirit of Santiago? What does it tell us? Yes, they symbolize youth, hope, and unbroken spirit. That means that his spirit is a spirit of a fighter. Yes, he has unbroken spirit, a spirit of a fighter. يعني روح محارب. Let's go on. Let's take another question. Okay. How does Santiago show humility when talking with the boy? The boy brought him food, and what does Santiago do? Yes, he was grateful, thankful, and why for the food, and told him, acknowledged that he needs strength for the hard day ahead. Another question. What does the early morning setting tell us about Santiago's character? What does it tell us? The early morning tells us that calm and his love for the sea show Santiago is patient and deeply connected to nature. Do you see how deeply connected is he to the nature? مرتبط جدا بالطبيعة. While he was in his boat, he felt that the water is his home, كأنه بيته, not the land, it's the water. So he's deeply connected to what? To the nature. Let's take another form of question. تعالى نشوف نوع أسئلة تانية بتيجي في الامتحان, like the multiple choices. Number 1. Santiago was an old, yes, excellent, very good, fisherman. Well done. Number 2. The younger fisherman called Santiago. What did they call Santiago? Do you remember? Do you remember? Yes, Salo. Well done. That means that the worst kind of being unlucky. Number 3. Our animal Santiago dreamed at night. What kind of animal did he dream? Let's see. Lions, dolphins, horses, maybe eagles? Yes, excellent, very good. You now remember lions playing on the beach. Let's see. The boy carried the lines, guff, harbin, and the rope, table, basket. Yes, excellent, well done. Sail, and it was patched. Do you remember the patched sail? Yes. Number 5. Santiago believed the sail would take him to his destiny, family, house, or school. Excellent, well done, very good. Destiny, so the sail is taking him to his destiny, where it lies far into the sea. Number 6. The old man's small wooden boat was called a, it was called a what? Sail, gear, harbin, skiff. Excellent, well done. We said this before, that the skiff means the little boat or the wooden boat of Santiago. Okay, so after finishing chapter 1 and 2, this is the last lesson in our unit 2, writing task. The writing task is so important in our exam. من المهم جدا نعرف writing task في الإكزام بتاعنا. في الامتحان بيجي لي write an essay. And today we are going to learn how to write a descriptive essay. But first, let's just try to see what is a descriptive essay and what does it mean. Let's look at the screen and see. A descriptive essay, what does it mean? It's an essay, عبارة عن essay, مقال, gives you detailed description of the topic and paints a picture. يعني زي بالضبط you are painting a picture أنت بترسم صورة but with words بالكلمات not with paint مش بالألوان. you are showing not telling أنت بتورينا صورة مش بتحكي لنا صورة. فبالتالي descriptive essay بيبقى ليه كده بعض النقاط أنت لازم تاخد بالك منها وأنت بتكتب. إيه هي النقاط اللي لازم ناخد بالنا منها وإحنا بنكتب؟ تعالوا كده نبص عليها. طبعا أول حاجة planning. لازم تعمل تخطيط جيد جدا جدا للديسكريبتيف essay قبل ما تكتبه. نمبر 1 طبعا choose your topic، تبقى عارف التوبيك اللي انت تتكلم عنه كويس جدا. هو في الامتحان بيجيب لك التايتل ده بتاعي، هو ده التوبيك اللي انت المفروض بتتكلم عنه. بعد كده تبتدي ان انت بتعمل brainstorming للايدياز، بتعمل عصف ذهني كده للايدياز اللي هي الافكار اللي موجوده في ذهنك related to the topic اللي ممكن استخدمها في الكتابه عن الموضوع ده. وبعد كده ابتدي اعمل organizing، اعمل كده زي درافت، زي مسوده كده، ابتدي احط فيها الايدياز الافكار بتاعتي بالترتيب، احط الافكار بالترتيب. بعد ما اعمل البلاننج ده ابتدي بقى اعمل الاوتلاين بتاعي بتاع الاساي بتاعي. الاساي بيتكون من ايه؟ بيتكون اول حاجه من introduction، قلنا introduction قبل كده اللي هي المقدمه، وبعدين بحط البادي اللي هو الجسم المين ايديا بتاعتك، وبعدين بحط الكونكلوجن اللي هي الخاتمه. طب يا ميس معلش ممكن توضحي لنا اكتر ايه الانترودكشن اعمل فيها ايه والبادي اكتبه ازاي والكونكلوجن اكتبه ازاي؟ طبعا. الانترودكشن عندي بتتكون من ايه؟ اول حاجه لازم احط الهاك. ايه الهاك ده؟ عباره عن question او كيوت او مقوله او سنتنس بتبقى سترينج شويه عشان تجراب ذا ريدر اتنشن، تقدر تجذب بيها الايه؟ الانتباه بتاع القارئ بتاعك. يبقى اول جمله احطها ايه يا اولاد؟ الهاك. بعد الهاك انا بحط ايه؟ بحط المين ايديا، الفكره الرئيسيه للتوبيك بتاعي. وبعد كده ببتدي احط سيت للسين بتاعي، احط بقى ايه هي السين بتاعي، المشهد بتاعي يبقى شكله عامل ازاي. فانا بحط اوفر اول ايديا، فكره كده عامه عن الموضوع اللي انا هتكلم عنه. يبقى انا كده في الايه؟ في الانترودكشن هحط ايه؟ هحط الهاك واحط مين ايديا، وبعد كده ابتدي احط ايه؟ جنرال ايديا عن التوبيك ايه بتاعي كله. اجي للبادي. البادي بقى دوت هنا هوت انا بتكلم فيه عن ايه؟ البادي ممكن يكون 1 paragraph او 2 paragraphs او 3 paragraphs حسب ما انت القدره بتاعتك، الابيليتي تكتب كام باراجراف. فبالتالي عندي في البادي انا ببتدي امسك نقطه نقطه من الايدياز، الافكار اللي انا كنت منظماها قبل كده في المسوده بتاعتي، واتكلم عنها ان ديتيل بالتفصيل. وفي الديسكريبتيف ايساي لازم في التفصيل بتاعي يكون سنسوري. سنسوري يعني ايه؟ استخدم فيه الحواس الخمسه بتاعتي. طيب ممكن مثلا في الباراجراف الاولاني في البادي اتكلم عن وات اي سي، انا شايف ايه. ومثلا في الباراجراف الثاني ممكن اتكلم عن what I feel، ايه شعوري، and what I smell انا ايه اللي ممكن الروائح اللي انا شماها مثلا وانا بوصف المكان ده او الشيء ده، او what I taste ايه اللي انا اتذوقه. فبالتالي انا هستخدم الفايف سنسز بتوعي، اخلي الباراجراف البادي بتاعي يكون سنسوري. سنسوري يعني ايه؟ يعني بعبر عنه بحواس الايه؟ الخمسه. وبما ان انا بعبر عن الحواس الخمسه يبقى لازم استخدم الادجكتيفز، الصفات. وبالتالي ان الديسكريبتيف ايساي بيبقى بيزد اون على الصفات، وهوريكم في السلايد اللي جايه ايه هي الصفات اللي ممكن استخدمها في الديسكريبتيف ايساي تو يو ذا 5 سنسز بالخمس حواس بتوعي. بعد ما خلصت خلاص البادي بتاعي باستخدام الفايف سنسز بتوعي وفصلتهم في 1 باراجراف او 2 باراجرافز او 3 باراجرافز، ابتدي اكتب الكونكلوجن بتاعتي، الخاتمه. والكونكلوجن بتاعتي عباره عن يعني بكتب فيها ايه؟ ممكن اكتب فيها ريفلكشن، انعكاس of what I have said اللي انا قلته في الهول اساي. ممكن احط فيها الاوبينيون بتاعي، رايي. وممكن احط ايه؟ lasting impression. lasting impression يعني ايه؟ يعني انطباع كده هوت يكون نهائي عن الموضوع اللي انا اتكلمت عنه. وممكن احط feelings، الفيلينجز بتاعتي how I feel towards the topic، حول الايه؟ الموضوع اللي انا بتكلم عنه. يبقى انا كده خلصت اللي اوت بتاعي، عملت هنا هوت البلاننج بتاعي في مسوده، حطيت الايدياز، نظمتهم. بعد ما نظمتهم ابتدي اكتب ايه؟ الانترودكشن بتاعتي، فيها الهاك وفيها المين ايديا وفيها اوفر اول ايديا. اتكلمت عن البادي واستخدمت فيه سنسوري اللي هو الفايف سنسز باراجرافز بتاعتي. وفي الاخر حطيت الكونكلوجن، عملت الراب اب للايدياز بتاعتي، عملت سمرايزنج، عملت الراب اب، حطيت فيلينجز، حطيت لاستنج امبريشن، حطيت اوبينيون. اتس اب تو يو، انت براحتك حسب what you would like to describe، انت حابب ايه توصف ايه. طيب نبص بعد كده هوت ايه هي بقى ممكن الادجكتيفز اللي انا استخدمها باستخدام الفايف سنسز. يا ميس معلش ادينا كده حاجات نقدر كده نحطها قدامنا عشان نقدر نكتب الديسكريبتيف ايساي بتاعنا. هحط كده سيمبلز كده بسيطه اند ووردز كده ادجكتيفز بسيطه، بحيث ان انت بعد كده تبقى بالنسبه لك جرابر او تبقى بالنسبه لك حاجه تو سيرش فور، تدور عليها بعد كده. لو انا مثلا what do I see، انا شايفه ايه هي الادجكتيفز اللي ممكن استخدمها عشان اوصف حاجه عن طريق السايت. زي مثلا اقول shimmering، gloomy، dazzling، faded، sparkling. هقول example that the sky turned a gloomy gray before the storm rolled in. يبقى انا كده استخدمت adjective، صفات لوصف الايه؟ what I see. طب what I hear للساوند بتاعي، whispering، crackling، زي the leaves made a whispering sound. طب what I smell ايه ممكن الادجكتيفز اللي استخدمها؟ fragrant، musty، smoky، rotten. Like the air smelled and earthy after the first rain. طب ايه الادجكتيفز اللي استخدمها when I express what I taste؟ bitter، tangy، sweet، sour، salty، juicy. Like the lemonade was tangy and refreshing. طب the feeling what I touch، how does it feel؟ rough، smooth، sticky. For example, the cat's fur was silky and soft. Emotion, what does the character feel inside? My inner feelings, joyful, anxious, peaceful, frustrated, proud, excited and embarrassed. كل دي adjectives أنا ممكن أستخدمها في البادي باراجراف بتاعي. أوكي، طيب عندي linking words برضو ممكن أستخدمها عشان الترانزيشن بتاع الباراجراف بتاعي يكون مظبوط. زي اللينكينج ووردز هنقولها كده بسرعة. لو أنا في البيجيننج في الانترودكشن ممكن أستخدم إيه؟ ممكن أقول in the beginning, first of all, once upon a time. طب in the middle ممكن أقول soon, meanwhile, later, after that, in addition, also, another, moreover. كل دي linking words ممكن أستخدمها عشان تخلي الإساي بتاعي in a great flow. في الانتربشن عايزة أعمل interrupted paragraph ممكن something unexpected to speak about like suddenly, out of the blue, all of a sudden or but then. the ending في conclusion هي linking words اللي ممكن أستخدمها transition words. Finally, at last, in conclusion, to summarize, after all, at the end, afterwards. All these كل دي linking words أو transition words بنسميها بتساعدنا إزاي إن أنا أخلي الإيقاع بتاع الإساي بتاعي بيبقى ماشي في سلاسة ونظام، وإزاي الإساي بيبقى عندي هنا cohesive و coherent at the same time. اوكي، دي كده قدامنا في السكرين دي تشيك ليست. خلاص كتبت بقى الاساي بتاعي واستخدمت الادجكتيفز بتاعتي واستخدمت اللينكينج ووردز والترانزيشن ووردز واستخدمت كل حاجه فيها. ابتدي اعمل بقى تشيك ليست. از ايه التشيك ليست دي التشيك ليست اللي اقدر ان انا اعمل اسسمنت ماي سيلف اسسمنت لنفسي عشان اشوف الاساي ده انا فعلا كاتباه صح ولا غلط. هاجي في البيجيننج اسال نفسي I have included a hook، حطيت hook. هل انا هو عملت described my setting، حطيت السيتنج بتاعي صح. I have introduced story characters، حطيت الكاركترز بتاعي صح. طب لو انت عملت كده تعمل تك 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 يبقى انت كده تمام introduction good. نيجي للميدل، ميدل اللي هو البادي. I have used the 5 senses، استخدمت ال 5 senses to create the atmosphere. I have included action، استخدمت action verbs. I have introduced a problem or an event. تمام، يبقى هتعمل تك 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 يبقى انت كده البادي باراجراف بتاعك great. نكمل في الاندنج. I have tried to resolve the problem. I have used the powerful verbs and adjectives. I have included dialogue. If you used it, so you have to tick, tick, tick. That means that you checklisted all the items that you have contained in your essay. واخر حاجه الفينشنج بتاعي اللي هو الاديتنج. بعمل ايه؟ بعمل تشيكنج للسبيلنج بتاعي ما حدش ينسى، بعمل تشيكنج للبانكتويشن بتاعي ما تنسوش، وبعمل تشيكنج لكل السينونيمز والانتونيمز اللي انا مستخدمهم، وبعمل تشيكنج اهم حاجه ان الستوري بتاعي ميكس سنس. It's your turn now. اخذنا كل حاجه عن descriptive essay. It's your turn now to write a descriptive essay about your grandparents' house. Try to use all the criteria or the checklist item that we have mentioned before to write down your descriptive essay about your grandparents' house. Don't forget، محدش ينسى كل الستبس اللي احنا قلنا عليها في writing descriptive essay. لو مشيتوا عليها بالظبط زي ما احنا قلنا هتلاقي نفسكم بتكتبوا super perfect descriptive essay and write it down and see if you can do it alone or not. وحاولوا تعملوا التشيك ليست اللي احنا قلنا عليها عشان تعمل editing للديسكريبتيف essay بتاعنا. وبكده نيجي نهايه الحلقه بتاعتنا النهارده. نتمنى ان هي تبقى حلقه كويسه بالنسبه لكم، ميسره وسهله، وقدرتوا ان انتوا تفهموا كل الاسبيكتس بتاعتنا. اتكلمنا عن chapter 1 و 2 واتكلمنا عن how to write a descriptive essay. اشوفكم المره الجايه ان شاء الله في الحلقه القادمه، وكان معاكم مس رنا خالد مصطفى English Teacher Secondary Stage.